places as well to take photos. I don't get it.
What else did you cover this season?
This season was a good one. You know, we started the first episode. We went back to my hometown, Portugal. We did an episode on hash trafficking. It's most Americans don't know a lot about hash, actually, but
Most Americans, you don't know.
But it's the first drug that people in Europe usually try. It's the marijuana of Europe, we'd say, or the rest of the world.
Well, it is
actually.
THC, right?
It is, yeah. It's from the resin glands. So
it's just super duper potent.
Super potent, yeah. So it's the first drug I tried, the first drug that any of my friends in Portugal tried. And, you know, back then when I was a kid and trying hash for the first time, I always sort of wondered, where does this come from? And we knew that it was Morocco. Everybody knows that the majority of hash in the world comes from Morocco. But now I thought, wow, I'm the unique opportunity to actually go and try to figure out how it gets here. And so we started in Portugal, and I reached out to a bunch of my girlfriends in Portugal and said, hey, let's meet at this time in the rocks where we used to like hang out and hide and smoke hash. and we'll film a scene of us talking about while we're smoking. So I actually smoked on camera for the first time, did drugs on camera.
In Portugal, it's all decriminalized.
Yeah,
though,
it's been decriminalized since 2001, so completely legal to do.
And it's an amazing success story.
Amazing success story.
In terms of addiction, crime, violence, everything went down.
HIV rates, incarceration.
Amazing.
All of it, So what they did is, they decriminalized it. So you can use, if you're caught using any drug, even hard drugs, nothing happens to you. But you're not allowed to traffic or sell it.
Right.
But if you're caught, they basically give you the option, if you're caught smoking or doing heroin, they'll ask you, instead of, they realize that they will pay much more by putting somebody in prison than they will by actually giving them treatment. So if they see that you're using heroin, they can go up to you and say, look, we'll give you the opportunity. Do you want to go to prison or do you want to go to treatment? The vast majority of people will say treatment. And the government actually pays less for treatment than they do for incarceration. So it's
wild.
It's wild. And you'd think that, people would have used this example and it would have spread around the world.
Well, the problem with America is the system it's so deeply unjust that there's privatized prisons and there's union guards. So the guards union, the prison guards union, actively campaigned to stop drugs from being decriminalized and made legal because that would take them out of work.
Right. And the private prison complex, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a business.
It is.
They use human beings as batteries to generate money.
Yeah.
Just put them inside this box, and you can generate money with human beings. So you find reasons to put them in. I'm sure you heard about that. There was a judge in Pennsylvania that got arrested because he was sending children to prison. He was sending children to juvenile detention centers that were innocent, and he just, like every kid that went through his court system, he just shipped away.
He got a kickback?
He got a kickback. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, so this guy, how many lives did he ruin?
Yeah.
Who knows? And how many lives did they ruin because of the abuse that they suffered and wound up having this tortured existence, and they went out and committed more crimes and ruined more lives, and it's one fucking judge.
Yeah, it's sick. And it's the wrong people that end up going to prison.
That guy fortunately did go to prison, the judge. But how many similar situations are there out there? How many people have not been caught? How many people are more subtle about it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty twisted.
It's horrible. It's really bad.
So this...
Wait, you talked about hash for a second. You've tried hash, yeah?
Yep.
And?
It's great.
Yeah.
I like it.
You think it is stronger than weed?
Well, it's just concentrated.
Yeah.
It's like high THC. It's resin.
And if you saw how it's made, it's incredible. We went up to the Kif Mountains in Morocco. They basically, it's these like farmers, and they beat these drums so that the resin and the little seeds come out, and then they mix it all into like this paste. And it's actually a beautiful process. Very dangerous because obviously when there's a lot of money in black markets.
Yeah. What do they do with the rest of the plant, the leaves and all that stuff?
I think they don't use it. It was just there. They dry the whole plant and the leaves, and then it's this like drum process where the stuff they want falls to the bottom, and then.
I wonder why some countries gravitated towards that method of using cannabis,
right?
And not just smoking it like they do in most of the country, most of the world, rather.
Yeah, And I wonder what came first. I don't know either.
Yeah.
But I'd probably think that hash came first, and then
Really?
the Americans came up with weed. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I bet it was the opposite. I bet weed came first. It just, it's a strange thing that it's still illegal in so many parts of the world. And then, fentanyl isn't.
Right.
Heroin isn't, or opiates aren't.
Yeah. Oxycontin.
Yeah.
Yep. I know. It's wild. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, unfortunately, because of our prison industrial complex, I just don't see a mass decriminalization akin to what's happening in Portugal, despite of what's going on our southern border and the fentanyl trafficking and the fact that it's propping up these cartels, and they're worth billions and billions of dollars because of that.
And they're mixing it in all sorts of drugs, as you know. We're working on an episode on fentanyl. We've done the whole opiate crisis and everything, but
smoking did not become common in Old World until after the introduction of tobacco in the 1500s. Hashish was consumed as an edible in the Muslim world. Interesting. Oh, the first attestation of the term hashish is a pamphlet published in Cairo in 1123, current era, accusing Nizari Muslims of being hashish eaters. The cult of Nizari militants, which emerged after the fall of the Fatimid Caliphate, is commonly called the sect of the Assassins, a corruption of Hashishin, Persian for hashish smokers. Wow. So assassins? A corruption of the Order of the Assassins. Simply the assassins were Nizari. Is that the original term of assassin? Is that where it came from?
I don't know. I mean, this might take a little more.
Yeah. How weird. Huh.
I mean, that would be like
the modern term assassination is believed to stem from the tactics used by the assassins.
Oh, wow.
Wow. So it's all about hash. Assassin comes from hash. That's nuts.
We did an